is the Chief of the Southfield Police Department, Elvin Barren, back with us once again on the MegaCast. Chief Barren, thank you for being with us.
Yes, sir. And as always, thanks for having me.
I appreciate it. So last week, Friday, or recently, you took part in a press conference that included Detroit Police Chief James White, Dearborn Police Chief Ronald Haddad, and Special FBI Agent in Charge Devin Kowalski to announce the arrest of 5 suspects accused of operating a carjacking ring in Southfield, Detroit, and Dearborn. Tell us a little bit about that case, what the concerns are, and that were with that, and then is the community in Southfield and the surrounding areas in the clear from this ring?
Yes, and I start off with the fact that the importance of law enforcement joining together, sharing information was very key to arresting these 5 violent predators. And so the Southfield Police Department reached out to the Detroit Police Department after the incident happened in our city. Because one thing that we knew is that the City of Detroit's Police Department, they have some fine detectives. They had information that they shared with us very quickly because they were also a victim of a carjack incident that same day. And so we were able to coordinate, combine resources, do surveillance operations, and then the 5 suspects were arrested. And more specifically, the suspect we found had the key to the Grand Cherokee that was stolen in the city of Southfield.
We're joined by Chief Elvin Barren of the Southfield Police Department. So then, in this case, as it was reported, that was a carjacking ring based out of Southfield, Detroit, and Dearborn. After the arrest of those 5 individuals accused of operating that carjacking ring, is it the belief at this time from your department and your partnering agencies that the community is in the clear of this ring, or do you suspect that other members of this carjacking ring, should they exist, are still at large?
So we do believe that we have all the suspects related to these carjackings in custody. And so one thing to point out is that the city of Southfield is very rare that we have random acts of violence. But when these things occur, we move very quickly to identify the suspects involved. And I'll give you an example. Once this incident occurred, the uncle of the victim, and our victim was 23 years old, the uncle called me. I assured him at that time that we would locate and identify these suspects and bring justice to this family. So I'm very thankful that with the Detroit Police Department, FBI, Dearborn, I was able to make good on my promise to that family to bring justice.
We're joined by Chief Elvin Barren of the Southfield Police Department with us on the MegaCast in a similar on a related topic. Part of the report of this carjacking ring was that they were specifically targeting, or they're primarily targeting, as you said, Jeep Grand Cherokees, but also Dodge Chargers and Dodge Challengers. We recently spoke with West Bloomfield Deputy Police Chief Kurt Lawson, who has said he and his department have seen an uptick in car thefts or attempted car thefts of Dodge Chargers and Challengers, in particular in the West Bloomfield area. Are you seeing something similar, either car thefts of any kind or break-ins of vehicles? Is that becoming more common also in neighboring areas of our communities, such as in Southfield?
Yes, that's very accurate. These criminals are lured to those Dodge products, particularly. What we found is that the criminals have found a way to use laptops, tablets to start these vehicles up. So we are calling for these car manufacturers to find better ways to properly secure their equipment, because it's important for the community, if they purchase these products, to have a system that is designed that's not so easy to steal. So we are experiencing the same thing in Southeast Michigan as all other cities, where these cars are of high demand on the street, both for their parts and for individuals who want to use those cars also to commit other crimes. So that is a issue that we're dealing with, and that's why it's important that we continue to communicate as Southeast Michigan police chiefs to share resources and then hold these people accountable.
We're joined by Southfield Police Chief Elvin Barren with us on the MegaCast. And Chief Barren, recently your department also partnered with the Alliance of Coalitions for Healthy Communities and the Southfield Community Anti-Drug Coalition to hold a Narcan training event Narcan training event in your department and in the community in general. Now, especially after a recent report that over 100,000 Americans last year had died of drug overdoses, how much more critical is it now than ever for residents in all of our communities, but even more particularly for your community in Southfield, to be trained to use Narcan to help someone that may be overdosing?
Yes, and we take a variety of approaches here in Southfield. Number one, as you mentioned, partner with the Alliance of Coalition, doing community Narcan training. That way the community has the Narcan device available. And if they see an individual suffering from an overdose incident, the community is able to respond. In addition to that, all Southfield police officers are also equipped with Narcan. We've saved numerous lives during the last 2 years that I've been here as a chief. And so the other dynamic to this war on narcotics and overdose is that the Southfield Police Department, we also partner with Families Against Narcotics, and we formed a comeback quick response team. And what that means is if there is a non-fatal overdose in our city, Southfield Police Department members working in partnership with Families Against Narcotics respond to those locations. We offer resources to those individuals and their families to try to get them on a path towards recovery. You know, this is a new project that we've started. It's been in existence for roughly a month now, and we're very excited about it, and we're already making a difference as we speak.
We're joined by Chief Elvin Barren, the Southfield Police Department Chief, joining us today on the MegaCast. In Southfield in particular, how big of a problem has drug overdose been in your community?
Well, it's something that we're dealing with, and certainly everyone deals with this on a national and local level. In Southfield, we do have a number of hotels, and those are places where some individuals do choose to use narcotics, and thus, thereby, we respond to these areas for treatment and recovery. And so we continue to partner with the community, making strides on giving the information to these hotel management owners, and that way the Southfield Police Department and the Southfield Fire Department, who are also a part of this initiative, are able to respond and again save lives, and more importantly, move towards giving the resources. Because you got to ask yourself the question, how are children affected by these situations? These parents have children and they're suffering as well. And that's why it's important that we partner with Families Against Narcotics to, again, help the families just as equally as we help the persons who are suffering from this disease.
In terms of the Narcan or naloxone training, who is eligible to receive that training, and are they then equipped with the Narcan after that to be able to carry with them in the situation that they do encounter somebody who is overdosing?
Yes, so any member of the community is welcome to attend the training. We've done a number of trainings online and in person. Certainly since the COVID-19 outbreak, we had to revert to online virtual Narcan training, but everyone is welcome to join us when we have these trainings. Once you successfully complete the training, we send the community members a free Narcan kit, which includes the device, gloves, sanitation devices, so that you have everything you need to spring into action and help someone suffering from a narcotic overdose. Because you got to remember, the community is often the first people to see an episode. And so it's very important that our community become the unofficial first responders until we as law enforcement or fire department personnel show up.
We're joined by Chief Elvin Barren of the Southfield Police Department with us on the MegaCast. And Chief, on a week from Saturday, December 4th, 11 a.m. until 1 p.m., the Holiday Sleigh of Giving event will be held by the police department at the Southfield Parks and Recreation Building and located in the city. Tell us a little bit about that event and how people can participate.
We're very excited about this. This will be our second annual Holiday of Sleigh giving event, really designed for the children and their families. We got sponsors who come in to help us out, anywhere from 411 therapy to the Southfield Public Schools, Clarence, Veneer, a host of different partners who are contributing resources and items, gift items for our children. So we'll have toys for the children. We'll have clothing items to include hats, gloves, scarves. And more importantly, we're showing to the community that the Southfield Police Department is able to get the resources, bring everyone together in an effort to help our children, and particularly families in need during this holiday season.
Chief Elvin Barren is with us on the MegaCast. He is the Southfield Police Chief, joining us today on the show. Chief Barren, just a few more minutes with you before we'll say goodbye today. Anything else at this time that would be important for our audience to know about what's going on in the city of Southfield, or other things that residents or visitors of the city should be aware of?
Well, I want to start off by really thanking the city of Southfield, the whole community. And I've been the police chief for roughly 2.5 years now. Certainly, many of you know I come from the city of Detroit as a deputy chief. But since my arrival, we've done some amazing work as a police department in the community, as we talk about what we've done for domestic violence awareness, what we've done with breast cancer awareness, what we've done with youth engagement. So I just want to thank the Southfield community, the surrounding cities who also take part in our engagement activities with the community. We have done so much great work, and guess what? More to come as we enter into 2022.
Well, Chief Barren, we thank you very much for joining us on the MegaCast today, and thank you for your department's continued service to the community, fighting off crimes like the carjacking ring, and also helping support necessary community efforts such as the Narcan training.